Alright, let's get this mini hauler 13 button box all set up in ATS. Pretty much the same for ETS as well, will be exactly the same. Jump into options for a start, and we want to go into controls. We want to set it as actual input. So it is a generic USB joystick, but this is actually my Eaton Fuller one. So if you don't have one of those, that'll be blank. You just got to click on that and go down to your. This is my button box here. So it's exactly the same thing as my Eaton Fuller. Alright, and then we can go into keys and buttons to start actually binding all these toggle switches and ignition and stuff like that. The ignition is a wee bit tricky, well, trickier than the normal buttons and toggle switches, so we'll come back to that one, and we'll start with some easier stuff. We'll start with the park and brake. So park and brake is just this yellow one. You just want to pop that out, and then you can push that in. See, that sets it up, Joy 3. That's because I've got my Eaton Fuller as well. Yours might be Joy 2 or Joy 1, whatever it shows up as. Alright, so we'll do engine brake next, which I like using the toggle switch because it holds down, sort of just like in real life. So if you switch that on while driving, it's going to hold it, and once you switch it off, it'll turn it off. If you don't do toggle, actually you have to switch it on, off to get it to actually toggle. So it's the engine brake you want if you're setting that up. Alright, what else we got? Come down, yeah, go lift and drop axle. Then stick to my top row there, flick that down and up. That sets it. So yours is probably going to be different buttons. I don't keep track of where I'm plugging these in, it's just the wild western side of that box. So don't be surprised if you're switching the same toggles as me, you're not getting the same like button names. So button 3 for lift for the trailer axle. Like I said, it's probably not going to be the same for you, but as long as it's set sync, you're good to go. Alright, we'll go. I like setting one of my push buttons as differential lock, so I'm going to use this one here. Just literally push it in, and it sets it up. Yeah, put on our hazard warnings. And I like setting this one here. These ones are a wee bit different. They can be flicked up or down, and they'll do a button push. So I flick that one up. We'll go set this beacon, which is the one I like sitting beside it, and I'm going to flick this one down. There we go. Just to show you that it works both ways, which is pretty handy on those. So you don't have to set those or any of these to what I'm setting to. You can set it to whatever you want. Light modes, I like going to push button here. Back in there now, we go ear horn. I like setting up with push button as well, my first one. Go wipers. I'm going to chuck that one in there. So that's pretty much all my push buttons done. I've got one toggle left, I believe, which I like setting to attach my trailer. So I'm going to flick that one for attached trailer. Alright, so that's all the basic toggles and buttons done. So now we're going to move on to ignition, which is a real two-stage ignition from like a forklift or tractor or anything like that. So it does actually come with a set of keys that only fits that ignition, so don't lose the keys. I just leave it in the box, in the button box. So keys, really easy to, like super loose to get in there. So you pop it in there, and we're going to set up our engine electricity, so actually bringing on your giving your truck power. So to do that, you just want to click it over one and then flick it back, and that's going to set it. So this first one, so this one So it clicks over, and then you've got like the spring back to crank over the actual truck. So now we've set that one, we've actually got to leave it on this one notch or one turn to set this next one. So when we crank it over, it recognizes the new button press, not the one we just set. So we leave that flicked over like that before we select this engine stop or start stop engine. So once you select that, see it hasn't picked up, you've already got one selected, you crank it over again, and then it's going to get your next button press, and then you can flick that back into neutral. So that is everything all set up there. How I like it set up, you could set it up totally different. You could set up, you know, cruise control to these buttons, or close your windows, or whatever you want. Display, like dashboard display mode is a good one. You can set it to one of your push buttons or whatever and just cycle through it. So yeah, don't have to exactly copy me. We'll drop it in and we'll go for a wee drive and just test out everything. So loaded in here, I've got a trailer on already, and it's my second attempt at this video. First one didn't get any game audio, so that's why I'm already out here. But here we go. So we want to give the truck some power. If we flick that to our first one, you can see we get all power coming through. Hit it again, and we get our ignition. Peterbilt fires up. Alright, so now we've got that all going. Let's start messing around. You see how I've already got my engine brake on. So the only thing with this is you're going to pop it out. Each time it pops, it's actually a button push. Just a limitation with the board in this one. I do have a 32 button that this limitation will be taken away. We're releasing soon. So yeah, you can see that. Give you an idea. So I believe that popped out, since that's how we want it to be on. So we've got horn, push button, cycle for our light modes, wipers, differential lock, and then we have engine brake. See that pop on, we'll go for a drive just turn so you can actually see it working. As soon as you flick it off, it pops off. We have axle left. I don't have one on my trailer, but I've got one on the truck, so I'll show you the truck. Flick that down. And she lifts. Do it again. Just going to drop it. So it's the same. Same with the trailer one. I don't have a liftable axle on this trailer though. Have beacons. Switch going on there. Hazards. I can switch it down as well. Down or up, works on those three toggles. And then detached trailer. Like that. So it's decoupling. Like that. Drive forward. Detached. Back up. So yeah, we'll go for a wee drive now. I should show you the engine brakes. The lights wouldn't play ball. Oh, freaking cock, just my luck. Done deal. Have fun.